Hello, this is Lexicon. We are back with another playthrough of the Birdigo demo. A demo is a game that has fewer features than the full package and is offered for free in order to entice purchases. This demo is so good that I have spent hours playing it, and I want to show you why by walking you slowly and carefully through all of the strategic thinking that even this demo requires of us. So I will hit play. In the demo, the only migration available is the Swainson's Hawk from Denver to Buenos Aires. I should say that the purpose of this game is to complete a bird's migration by hitting specific targets at each stop on the migration. When you hit the target, you get a reward. Some migrations will be longer, some will be shorter. All of the other migrations are locked in the demo. We use a deck of cards. These are letters. The standard deck is perhaps an easy deck, although it has only one asterisk. It has a Scrabble-like distribution of letters. Unlike some of these other decks, the pirate deck has many R's. The alphabet deck, I think, might be the most challenging, but we'll get to play it tomorrow on July 30th. Today is July 29th, 2025. As I said, you can see there are 14 stopovers. This is stopover 1. It says feather because our reward will be a feather. We have to hit a target of 20. We start with 4 words and 4 discards. For each word left when we hit the target, we get a seed. We will use seeds to buy feathers, songs, and letters at a store. This score is flaps times power. We get flaps from the word we play. Each standard letter is worth 1 flap, speckled 2, gold 5, platinum 10, and diamond 20. As you can see, most of our letters are standard, a few are speckled, and only the hardest letters are gold. This asterisk is a wild card, like a blank in Scrabble. So that's how we get the flaps. Powers at this point in the game are based purely on word length. If we write a 3-letter word, we multiply our flaps by 1. A 6-letter word, we multiply it by 4. We probably want to write a 6-letter word. So, first of all, I only have 1 vowel. That's not likely to get to 6. So, I will throw away the expensive Scrabble letters and keep an NG in the hopes of getting an ING. I will also throw out the duplicate N. So you can see I press the discard. I go from 4 discards left to 3, but I still have not played a word. I now have 2 vowels, but I still can't write a 6-letter word. And it would be easier to write a 6-letter word with an E, because then I would have an ER. It is useful to think of words in terms of syllables, each syllable making a word longer, and of course the letter S can usually make a word longer. Because I'm running low on discards, I got rid of the NG, and now we have an E, so we can write BOATER. Now this is 2 flaps for the speckled letter and 1 for each white letter, which is a total of 7 flaps. Because it is a 6-letter word, that 7 flaps will be multiplied by 4, and it will give us 28. Since our target distance is 20, we will do this in one go. And having played one word, we will have 3 words left, which gives us 3 seeds. When I am evaluating feathers, I look at the power they give and the likelihood that they will activate. Longfellow gives 10 power, but only if you write a 6-letter word or longer. Weirdo gives a certain amount of power no matter what you write, and I don't need an extra discard at this point. So I am going to take the Weirdo feather because it will activate every time, even though I do not know exactly how much power it will give. Obviously, if I could write dozen, that would be nice. So we'll start by getting rid of BWK. So if I write COZEN, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 flaps times 3 power is 27, but I'm expecting Weirdo to add at least 1 power, so I'm expecting to get at least 36. I think cousin is a kind of is sort of like fooling someone, tricking. 9, the Weirdo gave us 6 power, and so we once again did this at once. As you can see, speckled letters are worth 2, platinum are worth 10, and gold are worth 5. But I prioritize vowels over consonants, blanks over vowels, and E's over any other vowel. I would take this E even if the E was speckled and the A was gold. If the A was platinum or diamond, I might think otherwise. But I will take this E. We now have 4 A's, 5 E's, 4 I's, 4 O's, and 2 U's. This is the wild card. That makes things very easy. We still only have one value. Sorry, one vowel. We will keep the golden E. We are down to 1 discard. Now, I was going for an ing, but I have an ed. Ed is a nice syllable to end a word with, so how about binned? One reason why I want to keep writing long words, even though I don't necessarily need to, is that if I keep writing 6-letter words, their value will go up. This will go from 4 to 5. This matters more at the beginning of the game than at the end of the game. You'll see at the end of the game that we will have a lot of power if we've played the game right and if our card luck has been good. Part of playing the game right involves getting lots of seeds to buy good cards. So I will take this card. Most cards modify the deck. This one I never use. It resets your words to maximum if you're running low. Although making 2 letters speckled is tempting, getting double seed this early in the game is an incredible boon. We will hold the seed until we are actually standing in front of the store. So we will not use it yet. S-H-I-E-K. Is that how you spell that? It is not. It's spelled I before E, but not in chic. And look at that. We just hit 70. It wasn't guaranteed because the Weirdo is a little different every game. This extra letter in your hand, I believe, is the most powerful feather you can get. So, bookkeeper, what are the odds of having back-to-back double letters? Very unlikely. J's, I do not want to play J's. Odds. This one I have used, but it only activates if you write a word of odd length. And I've been writing 5-letter words, but I have also been writing 6-letter words. So I will not take the odd duck, however attractively named it is. I could spend all of my remaining seeds on a diamond P. I will not do so. Ooh, and I forgot to double our seeds. So now our seeds went from 10 to 20. I still won't buy the P because each time I spend 2 seeds to reach stock, we get a different set of things. Oh. Now the 6 letters or longer is worth it, and vowels. We also want something that will give us flaps. Let's see. Ooh, we always want the asterisks. 20 flaps when X is played, 30 flaps ending in ing. This is interesting. This feather, I believe, is in the game to make you think about words ending in ing because they're usually longer. It is a good idea to try for ing. Unfortunately, it only activates if you have the letters ing. If one of those is a wild card, it will not activate. Power flaps per gold letter played. Okay, so let's get rid of Weirdo. You've been good to us, Weirdo, but it's time for you to go, and we will get 10 flaps per gold letter. The reason we want to increase both flaps and power is illustrated by a simple math problem. Let's say we have 5 flaps and 10 power. We're going to get 5 times 10, which is 50. If we add 10 to the power, 5 times 20 is 100, and that sounds good. But if we add 10 flaps, we get 15 times 10, and then instead of 100, we get 150. So you want to balance your flaps and your power. You want your feathers to give you both. Notice also I could have held 5 feathers, but I didn't want to because we are going to get a free feather immediately after this stop. I have a choice between an E and an S here. I'm going to take the E. The S would certainly be reasonable. And now we have 8 letters in our hand instead of 7 because of talons. We have an asterisk. We have to hit 100, but if we get a gold letter, that would be good. We want to write at least a 6-letter word, and this looks hard with these letters. It still looks hard. Okay, we have the ED. One of the nice things about the asterisk is that it can be a vowel or a consonant. P-E-T-E. Is that how you spell that? Petered out? Now, we have written our first 7-letter word. 7 letters or more are particularly valuable on the power index because you can see it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. 10 power for each 7-letter word or word longer than 7 letters. That's great. Applejack. Flaps if the word starts with an A. Flaps if you spend an X. Hello, weirdo. We will do Applejack. We will sell it at the next store, but meanwhile we will have it. This is an expedition. The egg will give us an extra discard. On every expedition, you suffer a penalty. And our penalty is -1 card in the hand, but we have talons. So instead of getting a 6-letter hand, we have a 7-letter hand. 6-letter hands are very, very challenging. 7-letter hands are less so. L-A-Z-E-S. That is a 5-letter word. It does have flaps for goldfinch, but it will not activate Longfellow. It has 2 vowels, so we will get some power. Let's see how this goes. We start at 30, now we're at 60, now we're at 140. We just missed the destination. F-I-V-E-R. And now pretty much any word will get us to the destination. The best egg gives you an additional card in your hand. The egg that gives you an additional word will inevitably give you additional seeds because you'll have more words left over almost all the time. The extra discard is only conditionally useful, and I think it is the worst of the hands. Now, I could write thick with this, but I want to write a 6-letter word or longer. Now we have an ED, P-O-U-T-E-D. That activates the vowels. It gives us, and once again we are just short of the destination. F-A-R-M-S. And now we have played so many 5-letter words that our 5-letter words and 6-letter words are worth the same. However, we are probably not far from getting 6-letter words being worth 5, and of course we would rather be playing 7-letter words. Choice between the A and the S is a challenging one. I think either one would be a good choice. The N would not be a good choice, in my opinion. We are going to see if we can get jumper. We cannot, so we will write J-A. B-L-A-Z-E-D. 6 letters and a golden one. We did it immediately, so we got 3 seeds. This time we are going to try the mimic. We are going to try to turn another word into an asterisk. W-R. Get rid of all of that. When you have only one vowel, it makes sense to put in more discards. Stamps. Unmap. Let's see what we can do here. Still no good, but we did get the ing. Oh, actually, we do not need to discard. We have saving. That gives us 6 letters to activate Longfellow. It gives us 2 vowels. It does not have a word that starts with an A, and it did not have a gold letter. And now notice that our 6-letter words are now worth 5. D-O. We need another vowel. D-E-F-E-A-T-S. And I wanted to turn another letter S-L-E-E-T-E-D. 7 letters. And a lot of vowels. There we are at 360 out of the 340 we need. The odd duck is tempting. Well, the plume will immediately be useful. This is an uncommon letter that would sell feather, that would sell for more. But this plume will help us on the next hand, where we have to reach 450. We do get an ER, A-T-E-R. Let's get rid of the B. We could write relax. Well, that's very good. R-E-Q-U-I-E-M. Is that how you spell that? I guess it is. We made a 7-letter word with a gold letter. And I think the extra 4 power, no, it didn't make the difference. So I would rather get 10 flaps per E than 10 flaps per gold letter, because I have a lot more E's. The first letter word played will also get us flaps. We can turn more letters into E's with a song. But this is one of the best feathers in the deck. We will always have 5 feathers. This will always be worth 15 flaps. And then we will try to add a copy of a letter to the deck. We are about to get a song, and we have 2 songs. You can't hold more than 2 songs, so I have to play one of these immediately, and I might as well just make an extra E. S-T-A-K-E-D. But we can turn this K into another blank. And let's get rid of these vowels, and let's see what we can come up with. C-H-A charts. But can we play these E's? Cheaters. 8-letter word. Counts as much as a 7-letter word, but that is plenty. It has 2 E's in it. It's worth a lot of points. Switching, so that change from 10 flaps per gold letter to 10 flaps per E was a very good change. I never like to destroy letters. Even though there are some letters I will change, I don't want to destroy them. If I change them into a blank, I assume that that's not as bad as actually eliminating a letter. Also, the letters that I would want to eliminate are high value. So if I have a gold QXZ, I'd rather turn it into an E than delete it. Bantha, a Star Wars monster. So we've got the S. H-A-L-V-E-S. 6 letters. Sometimes to use your S you also need an E, because we turn half into halves. That is very good. It also does have an E in it. It has 2 vowels. It is 6 letters or longer. We didn't quite make it, and this means we will have to upgrade our other feathers at the next stop because things are going to get harder. -1 hand side. If I was still getting feathers per gold, I might play zips, but we are not. Preening. That becomes gold. STILLS. Stills. Now we have no E's. This will not be terribly high scoring, but it doesn't have to be 600 points. So we have 2 feathers left. We now have +1 word. So we missed out on the egg that gives us +1 letter. We will never have a 9-letter hand, but we have an 8-letter hand, and that is good. We have ER, we have IG. Again, I could write waxer, but I don't want to because it's only 5 letters, and so it does not activate Longfellow. JAGGED. That, on the other hand, is 6 letters, and it has an E in it. We get a lot of feathers for our base word. We get power. We are just short of the goal. One of the nice things about the balance of this game, it is well thought out. The goals are hard but not impossible. It's nice to have an E because of our feathers. MENTORS. This gets us a 7-letter word. We did not need a word to score this high, but if the 7-letter word counts towards making 7 letters words more valuable, that's great. Skirling auspicious. Jumping immediately to platinum is quite unusual. Let's see which letter we can turn platinum. We could turn a gold letter platinum, but I will give us a platinum E. OINK. Oinker. Are you going to give us that? Is that a word? I guess it is. And it's a 6-letter word, and it has a platinum E in it. Well, we got that done immediately with the word oinker. I would have been okay if the computer had said that oinker was not a word. And look, we are already at stopover 13. We will get our final trading post. I like almost 0 letters in this, and I really want an E. I could write Jeep. Let's see what else we can do. Let's turn these E's speckled. Bucket, beaker. This is an odd one in which the CK would have made a lot more things possible. So if it ends in EST, Vents, vents, events, EVENTS. 6 letters, 2 E's. The only letter generating flaps is the E. No, we're also getting flaps here. We want to get more power than the usually 4 power we get from that one. Now you see we are out of discards. If we hit discard again, it will forfeit. Well, actually, it'll give us a chance. Are you sure you want to forfeit? No, thank you. S-T T-R-E-S-T-L-E, trestle. Are we up to an extra power level for our 7-letter words yet? I guess not. We're still, there we go. 7-letter words now worth 11. It's small, but it is useful. Flaps, power if even, coatl. This is a wonderful feather. I have an entire video about a run through in which I got coatl earlier. It changed things, but it only has a 1 in 15 chance, I think, per letter of activating, and at this point in the game it's just too late. The mimic, well, you like the mimic. Flaps per gold letter, power if word is odd, power if word ends in Y. Flaps, power if word is 2 letters long. I do not want to play 2-letter words. All hands are consonants. Nope. Power per speckled letter in your full deck. And how many speckled letters do we have? We have 19. That is really good. We have a mimic, and we will add a gold letter, and that is it. So now we have flaps per E. These two activate automatically. This one only activates if we have an E. This makes our hand larger. This activates if we play 6-letter words, but I want to play 6-letter words. I want to play 6-letter words to access these power levels. They started at 4 and 10. The 6-letter words are now worth 6. The 7-letter words are worth 11 power. And now we enter the final hand, where we have to hit 1,500. I think we'll get rid of these two. T-H-E-E-R. Mimic. And let's turn that N into another blank. We do cheerier. Yes, we can. With 3 E's in it. That is really excellent, and that is why we got that done immediately, even though it was nominally the hardest. In fact, the start of each migration is harder than the end. By the time you're at the end, you should have built up a strong hand of feathers that will let you master the final challenge. So I hope I have shown in a little bit more detail how this game works and all of the various different facets of it that combine to make an interesting game. Your deck upgrades, your feathers, your songs, your letters, watching the feathers as you play your letters. It is an interesting game. It is also one that is very friendly to stopping and starting. If you stop in the middle of the run, you can just go back to it. There is no timer on each step of the migration. I think that is also wonderful. You cannot save more than one migration as far as I know, but you can always come back where you left off. Today is July 29th, 2025. This demo, I believe, will still be up tomorrow, but also tomorrow the actual full game will be up. And I am going to, I always forget, I like to take these sounds down a bit. I like the music. There we go. I hope you see why I love this game, and I hope I have inspired you to at least try the free demo. Since there's a free demo, you probably shouldn't buy the game. Try the demo first. If you like the demo, buy the game.